Hello, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another video. If you are new to this channel, my name is Frank Zhu, and I'm a college professor teaching sociology, history, and philosophy. I'm also an award-winning landscape photographer. The word equality is both a powerful and controversial term. It is powerful because it can be and has been used as a political slogan around the world in almost every political revolution in modern history. Thomas Jefferson wrote, "All men are created equal" in the American Declaration of Independence. The phrase liberty, equality, and fraternity was a powerful rallying cry during the French Revolution. Nowadays, the term is gaining more rhetorical power and is being used by politicians on all political spectrums. The term equality is also controversial because not everyone agrees on the precise notion of equality, and politicians use it for their own purposes. In fact, philosophers, social scientists, even politicians themselves have raised questions and argued about the term equality since ancient Greek times. In this video, I'm going to share with you some of my thoughts and arguments about equality, which we all know is a foundation for a just and fair society. In my view, equality is not merely a concept that only refers to a single object or single value. There are different dimensions of equality, such as social equality, political equality, racial equality, gender equality, etc. For the sake of our discussion in this short video, I will focus on 4 types of equality: equality of abilities and talents, equality before the law, equality of the same food, service, benefits, and other rewards, and finally, equality of opportunity. First of all, does the equality of abilities and talents exist? And more importantly, is it possible to achieve such equality? I always hold the belief that no baby is born smarter than another baby. Every one of us is born as a blank slate. Among adults, some people may have higher IQ than others, but again, I don't think there is any genetic basis for disparities in IQ between adults. So, Thomas Jefferson got it perfectly right, in my opinion, when he said that all men are created equal. Our talents and capabilities are only acquired through experience and environment. For me, every healthy person has a chance to become capable and intelligent. As a professor, I keep telling students that every one of them can be as talented as every other student. With that said, I have to admit that some people are born wealthy and healthy. Others are born handicapped and poor. Some people receive good education. Others have no chance to go to school at all. Besides, people have different life experiences, which are an important factor in determining a person's intelligence level. As a result, it is not surprising that different people in the real world have different talents and different capabilities. It is therefore unreasonable and unrealistic to talk about equality of abilities and talents, and it is impossible to achieve absolute equality in this respect. Secondly, many people argue that equality before the law is practical and obtainable. According to them, the blindfolded figure of justice that is often seen in front of a courthouse signifies that justice does not recognize individual difference in terms of social status. Everyone is equal in front of justice, they argue. The same laws apply to everyone and in the same way. A judge is supposed to hand out the same sentence to a rich man as to a poor man, to an ordinary person as to a celebrity, if they have committed the same crime. However, in my opinion, the concept of equality before the law is more of a utopian idea than reality. First, the fact that only the rich and the powerful make laws makes it hard to believe that those laws are made to treat everyone equally. The poor and the weak, therefore, have a good reason to doubt the fairness and impartiality of such laws. In addition, not everyone is equal in terms of understanding the law. The level of legal awareness varies from individual to individual because educational levels vary from individual to individual. Those without much legal knowledge may not be aware of their legal responsibilities or legal rights, and therefore may be put in an unequal position when it comes to legal judgments. Finally, in a system where lawyers play an essential role in the legal system, it is obvious that those who can afford to hire better lawyers have better chances of winning legal cases. It is therefore difficult to expect real equality in front of law for everyone in such a system. The third type of equality is equality of food, services, and benefits. Since ancient Greek times, philosophers have talked about an ideal society in which everyone gets the same amount of everything. Karl Marx envisioned a communist society where people take whatever they need. Though such a system remains a utopia, some people, myself included, hold the view that a more equal distribution of goods and services contribute to making the society more stable and more peaceful. In a society where there is more equality of this type, there is more safety and security. I hold this view partly because of my personal experience of living in Sweden for several years. Sweden is known for its fantastic social welfare programs, which are implemented in order to make distribution of goods and services more equal among its citizens. When I was there, which was about 20 years ago, crime rates were much lower than many other Western nations. I still remember the days and nights when I could walk on the street without being fearful of anything. I have lived in many countries, and I can tell everyone that Sweden is, or used to be, one of the safest countries, although things have changed recently due to the emergence of a big gap between the rich and the poor. On the other hand, some people have argued that it is impossible to achieve equality of goods, services, and benefits. And I have to admit that I agree with them to some extent. For them, inequality is inevitable in any society. Some inequalities are beneficial to society and thus serves the interests of everyone in society. According to them, people who work harder ought to be rewarded more and live better. And people who are able to work but refuse to work shouldn't be given rewards or benefits at all. Some other people also argue that such type of inequality is also an incentive for poor people, pushing them to work harder. Finally, many people argue that equality actually means equal opportunity. According to them, it is this type of equality that people most cherish. In a just society, everyone is entitled to the same treatment in the process of achieving goals. They should not be hampered by prejudice or preferences of any kind. When applying for a job, for example, applicants should be allowed to compete on the same level. The job should go to the most qualified, not for reasons such as birth, race, upbringing, religion, sex, and so on. Where there is more equal opportunity, there is more economic prosperity and more happiness among people. However, other people, including myself, argue that this is not the case everywhere. In some societies, especially in a free market economy, there is no real equality of opportunity because the same circumstances that give some people more advantages over others give them more opportunities as well. It takes money to make money, goes the old piece of wisdom. In order to have the opportunity to make money, you have to have money in the first place. Talking about equal opportunity is thus as unrealistic as talking about equality of abilities and talents. Well, I think that is all that I wanted to talk about on the topic of equality in today's video. But before I go, I'd like to call your attention to another word that is similar in spelling and pronunciation to equality, and the word is equity. Unlike the word equality, the word equity implies the recognition that people are different and have different needs under different circumstances. Therefore, different kinds of support or resources should be given to them to achieve fairness. As always, thank you so much for watching today's video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.